There's probably going to be nobody here, but that's okay. More people here. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you, everybody. All 83,000 souls who are joining me this evening. I am so excited. I've been kind of busy today, so I'm an avatar. We've got some storms going here in Virginia that are pretty bad. So to not try to take up too much of the bandwidth of my wireless. I avatared a little bit today. So, hey, everyone, come on in. Hey, Marina. Oh, Junebug is over here. She's beezing. She's running around. She's been hiding in the shower with the storms today, but she's starting to get a little bit happier over here. You're seeing 125,000 Lola Oil. Well, I know. It's funny. Sometimes my Tim math is not so good, but I've coming on in. Hey, come on in. As you can see, I've put out a couple of videos, and I thought we might just end out this time before we start the official Sarasota Tim Boycott starting July 1st and July 2nd, just to kind of see really how many of the people who watch our good friend Sarasota Tim are watching for sheer enjoyment or watching just to see the train slowly crash into the side of the building, because it's a train wreck sometimes. Hey, come on in, everyone. Hey, Miss Lee, come on in. Come on in. We got lots of people that are supporting this, who are creators. I want to thank at the universe of David, according to David. Sorry, David. Thank you, because I probably stole your links. I don't know whose links I was stealing, but I think I borrowed it from your list, and you may have borrowed it from somebody else's list. But I wanted to make sure that I put out all the names of all the other channels that you could watch instead of our good friend Timothy. Yeah, Squirrelbait Parodies is here. Come on in. I'm so happy to see all you souls in here tonight. Barium Exposure is here. Come on. I've got 3 really good videos lined up to react to this evening. And we're going to start at the, I'm back at the main street, washateria. So we're in a laundromat. What thrilling content is Tim giving us? Yep, all the moderators, come on in. Hey, Eloise, come on in. Who do I've got modding tonight? I don't even know. If anybody's moderating. You could be. Oh, Angel of Glass is here. Thank you for being here, Angel of Glass. I'm happy to see you here. Because we are getting ready for, obviously, here in the United States, the 4th of July week is starting. A lot of people might be going on holiday here, and so it's time that we can all take a little bit of a break, maybe, as the universe, according to David, was recommending, a little break from social media, maybe get outside, see some nature, enjoy times with friends and families, and keep away from the wonderful content that is provided by our good friend Tim. Though I have noticed, and many people wonder, is he preparing to get less videos out because he is understanding that there are a lot of channels and there's a lot, you saw the list, who are those who are not going to be supporting this boycott this evening. So we're at midnight. So, but he's not really been putting out a lot of content. He really hasn't. So we're just going to take a look at this. Let me make me small so we can just get into these reactions. And I'm going to live react tonight to you guys and let you guys have fun in the chat about it as we go ahead. Is our friend Rob here? Cue the Rob Rocks. Yeah, absolutely. Here he is. There's Rob. Yeah, he probably is Barium Exposure. I think he may be. And I've noticed also the word coffee has disappeared from his vocabulary recently. I've been checking to see if he's been talking about his buy me a coffee, and seems to have gone to the wayside. Curious. Very curious. You're a new hater? Well, come and join. Is Ziggy a new hater? We're all haters, supposedly. Not that it's a word that I particularly like to use, but it's the one that Tim tends to call us. So there you go. Hey, Miss Vicky. I've hit you there. Hey, Miss Vicky, come on in. It's good to see you. We got lots of great creators here in the chat. So you will actually have an opportunity to talk to some of these folks while we live react to some of our good friend Tim. Now, I am going to move him to 1.25 just to get it a little bit faster. I've picked some short ones. There's 3. Like I said, we're going to be doing the Washateria at Cedar City. It's the nicest laundromat that Tim has ever been to, followed by a inspirational morning chat, and then his advice about where to get an oil change. I decided the scenic route that he probably just talks through for 18 minutes. I've not watched it. I just looked to see how many times he mentioned the word coffee. And the word coffee seems to be disappearing. You don't like the word haters? Yeah, yes, we're reactors. We're absolutely reactors. Yeah, we're going to speed him up, Claudette. We're certainly speeding him up tonight. So, yes, let me get over to here and get back. I feel like sometimes I haven't live streamed in a while, then I forget how to do it. And I was planning to go on camera, and then the storm happened, and Junebug has been very needing of my attention while the storm has been happening. And so I've just been kind of hanging with her and didn't get a chance to kind of get ready to go on the camera, though many people will say I barely look camera ready anyway half the time. So thank you guys for that. Oh my goodness, this is 2 minutes and 58 seconds. So we should be pretty quick with this tonight and let everybody get ready for their holiday weekend. And like I said, he's not been putting out as many videos. And as I said, a lot of people think he may be preparing for the boycott. But the only person who obviously is harmed in the pocket is Tim, who's used to spitting out 10, 15 videos a day. So let's hear what he has to say. Let's just get into this.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming back to you from Main Street, Washateria, the laundromat where I did a review. I came here last week and I discovered this place, and I'm back. We got a whole week's worth of laundry. We came back, and April and Randy, the owners in there.
Oh, goodness. April and Randy, the owners. Is he getting a free wash every time he mentions a sponsorship or a name of a place? Is it like, I wonder how many mentions he needs to make in order to get a free wash. I'm just curious. It's, I'm trying to sort of think about it. I've been reading up about, obviously, in my psychology books a little bit, looking at the DSM-5. Not that I'm treating or diagnosing, Tim. This is just my opinion and my opinion only. Did I put out my thing that says it's my opinion? Goodness me, I hope I did. I think, though, a lot of times, we're in a parking lot. We're in front of an area where the buildings have not even officially got like full signs on the top of them. They're just kind of hanging there, which makes me think the establishments turn over quickly. I don't know. It's an interesting setup. And there's a gas station over here too. I generally would not to give anything about the owners of the laundromat, but I probably would not want to be near a gas station and washing my clothes, but it's very handy, I guess. Maybe it's made for travelers. So they're stopping and getting gas. They've been traveling and they have laundry that needs to be done. And they're able to, stop and just get things washed before they continue with their travels. That's what I'm thinking. And I don't really know. I have no idea, but it's... Oh, I almost want to see the chat. Why didn't Chammy share the drive? I have no idea. That's a good question, Fran. I have no idea. What did Todd say? Quite the couple. Oh, yeah. Well, I can't say anything about the chicken legs, actually, Todd, because I'm very skinny. I got some long, probably flamingo legs over here. So I can't say much about Miss Tammy's thin legs because I've got kind of thin legs myself from all the years I spent being a runner. So I can't say anything about that. He doesn't want to let Tammy drive. Well, I don't know. Maybe she's reticent to drive. We don't know because we don't really hear anything from Tammy's side. We just, hear Tim. So maybe she's just somebody who doesn't like to drive. Some people don't like to drive out of their state. So who knows? Maybe he only wanted to put one name on the rental And he's definitely not going to let her drive the Tundra. So maybe that's the reason why. Maybe it was extra money to put 2 drivers on the rental car. I don't think so. But yeah, he's controlling. Yeah, I think that's probably a good assumption there. Probably it is. I think that he does have a lot of control issues. I can see that when he had his friend Jay out on the golf course and he was insulting the poor guy to put the camera here and go over here and this, that, and the other. He is quite bossy. Yeah, flamingo legs. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Tim, keep selling up this washing laundromat place while you get your I guess your free wash sponsorship. I mean, is he getting a free wash? I mean, this is a serious question.
They were glad to see me. They were just couldn't be happy enough for all the reviews they've been receiving and the exposure that the video brought them, because they're a new business. Now, these are Christian people, so they're obviously very blessed, and they're in a very nice area here in Cedar City, Utah. If you are in this area traveling, or you...
Oh my goodness. Really, Tim? You're going to throw out the Christian already on me? Oh, it's, you know, I've got a lot of family, not a lot, but I have family who are part of, you know, they went to Liberty College. My uncle was a right-hand man, don't judge me, to Jerry Falwell Sr. at one point. My family were up in Lynchburg, Virginia, and Roanoke and all those areas, and definitely very big Southern Baptists. And something that I know that they would not do is show up in a casino or share a room while not married to somebody. That would be definitely a no-no. Alcohol is another no-no. Most of the films that have ever been released were no-nos for my cousins growing up. My cousins didn't get to go to the movies. So I'm just kind of figuring out, you know, what type of Christian is Tim? He must be Christian light, is all I can say. Or Christian conning, something of that nature. I certainly do believe that Tim uses religion to his advantage to manipulate people and to try to show to his audience what a good man he is, though a lot of his behaviors say otherwise. So most of us who have been brought up in the Christian faith know that when we do good deeds, we don't expect to get recognition for it. We do it because that's part of what we believe to do as, you know, as Christians. And I can't speak for other, you know, religions because I've never been brought up with those. But Christianity, I was brought up in. And I know that it's not something that you just, you know, you're quiet in your faith. You're quiet in your faith. Your faith is between you and God. It's conversations with your pastor. It's going to church. I don't think I've ever seen Tim talk about a church that he's visiting to take a look at, or any work with people who are unhoused. He actually is quite derogatory about folks like that. I feel a lot. This country's got some hard times. I make sure that these people don't feel like they're ignored. And I'm not going to talk any further because then I'm not being a good Christian. So that's just, you know, Tim, shush. It's not fun to hear. If you could see my eyes roll. I got my glasses on. I look sloppy. I've been working out on the patio. It was before the rain came in. All right, come on.
If you don't have a washing machine at home, or yours is on the blink, I highly recommend you come down here where they have brand new machines of any size. I mean, you got a horse blanket, April said they can take it. They got a 100-pound machine in there. So every size dryer, everything is brand new. I think it's like 6 months old. And we want to support local business. I wouldn't recommend anything that I wouldn't do myself. I've been to a lot of laundromats in my life. This is the nicest one I've ever been to in my life. I'm telling you, everything's brand new.
I tell you, they must have given him a free wash. And if that's the case, you need to make sure you're listing this as the correct sponsorship in YouTube. You can't just be popping out content like this and not say it's sponsored, Tim. So I really don't understand what he is getting from it. Because if he was getting any type of actual brand deal, there's very strict rules with YouTube, because I know I've got to get ready for my own. I've got the product here in my house. I'm trying to get everything ready to film me putting it together. And that's what I've been working on. So I've been trying to clean up my living room, make it look nice for the viewers. And I know that you have to list this stuff. Miss Vicky will tell you, any of the creators in here who have been working with any brands will tell you, you've got to really make sure that you're putting that in your content. You can't just be out here advertising this company like this. I just like, that's, I don't think that's part of YouTube's terms of service. And he's just trying to make content from like everything he visits, and he doesn't ever put it in as a proper sponsorship. There's nothing that says this is sponsored content. So, I mean, what is he gaining by? He's got to be getting something in return. I mean, something. I don't know what he's getting in return, but otherwise, why would you be promoting a laundromat? Because it's not content, Tim. Nobody wants to see it, unless it's the laundromat that had Nick Cayman back in the, I think it was the late 80s in England, where the good-looking guy is, taking off his 501 jeans and putting them into the wash. That's the only laundromat scene I want to see. All right, keep going, Tim.
And these people are so nice. She works so hard in there. Both her and Randy, when you come here, they greet you at the door, bring you a little basket out. They help you with anything you need because they have that computer paying system in there where you can use coins, Apple Pay, credit card. It's state of the art. It's a nice laundromat. Sorry about the man. It feels good, though, up here in Cedar City. Look at that view behind me here. The place is located right across.
Oh, my gosh. Blind viewers would have a field day with him on this audio. I'm just glad the storm has now stopped and Junebug's kind of settled in her chair, because the rain has just literally stopped now. It had been going since about 4. We went to a big storm this afternoon. So I was thinking to myself, gosh, I hope this doesn't continue, because my sound quality is going to sound terrible as well. But Tim, come on. You've been doing this for a while now. Can you not get better sound quality? And he's like literally advertising this laundromat with no disclosure. And oh, look at this. I guess Tammy is no longer filming because it's Tim and the selfie stick. So I wonder where Miss Tammy is at this moment. Is she in the RV, or is she inside the laundromat? Oh, you know what? That's probably what's happening. Because we know Tim kind of old-fashioned. So poor Miss Tammy in there probably trying to sort through his smalls. Ugh, gross.
Straight from Jiffy Lube, the self-serve car wash, right on Main Street. That's what it looks like right there. And come on down. If you're in New Harmony or anywhere in the area, and you're traveling in an RV, or you just don't have a laundry facilities at your house, or you got something that needs a big wash machine, they got it. And let me tell you, folks, you're going to be treated right. And the prices, I don't want to give it away, but I'm going to tell you,
Diana,
they're a lot lower than I can remember. These places are kind of proud of how much they charge. It can be expensive doing your laundry, but I used a pretty big machine in there today.
Are you serious, Tim? Already? I cannot believe this. He already hit me up with this already. My goodness.
I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have this dry begging. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Absolutely, Tim. You are dry begging for some free wash. Poor Miss Tammy in there sorting out your smalls. Cannot believe we already had to bring out this, our friends, is the quality content that you will be missing if you join us in this little boycott. It's just, it's not really, we're not trying to be harsh on Tim. We're literally just trying to assess how many people watch his content because they truly enjoy watching his content, and how many people are watching him because they just cannot believe what they're watching is true content. Well, that's kind of what we're trying to figure out. Here. But my goodness, Tim, already a dry bag, and you're only 2 minutes, 20 seconds in. I mean, this whole thing has been a dry bag for, oh my goodness. I just cannot believe that I'm making content about somebody who's outside of a laundromat by a gas station. Keep going, Tim. And look, what is this? Is this a skip behind him? He's literally this little tiny place here that's like this little shopping mall outside a gas station with a skip over here. And like I said, this must be for travelers or something who see it. So they think, oh, I do need to get some clothes washed. Let me get a laundry going. They need to get a McDonald's next to it so Tim and Tammy can really enjoy the morning.
It was only $7, and they spin them out so dry that you don't need to, use the dryer for more than 25 minutes generally, and all your stuff is going to be dry. So anyway, Miss T will tell you, it's a great laundromat. It's so clean in there. Big pit group couch, and
I told you Miss T was in there doing the laundry while he's out here filming. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? You have traveled all the way from Florida. You've been dragged around in a car for literally days, like on a road trip. It's not like, it's been a couple of stops and some scenery, but I don't think they even got into, I don't know, with the national park, if they just drove around. I didn't watch it to see if they got out the car. But, and now he's got this woman in a laundromat. This is what's to come, Miss Tammy. If you stay with him, this is what to come. I mean, if I'd had a partner who was talking about the benefits of having a wife from a foreign country over myself and, talking about that, and then I don't think I'd want to go back to that person. I can't believe, there's not anyone else in Florida that she could meet. I thought there was a lot of retirees. And, there's not anybody your family can introduce you to that's better than Tim? Really? He talks about her giving him back massages and stuff. I just still haven't figured out what's in it for Miss Tammy. What's in it for Miss Tammy? Keep going, Tim.
Chairs and table and Wi-Fi, and I think they got Wi-Fi. You don't hold me on that one. We got a big, beautiful flat screen TV in there to make it very comfortable, air conditioning, and believe me, you're going to have a good time doing laundry if that's possible. So come on down here to Main Street, Washateria, Cedar City, and crush it. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Is Darling here? I'm sorry if I'm not keeping up with the... Oh, Darling's in here. Hey, Darling, come on in. Come on in. Oh, gosh. And I've had some more insane emails come my way. Those teeth, I know. Maybe he finds subscribers that sponsor his laundry. He's been getting a lot of money on his Buy Me a Coffee recently. I saw that. Hey, darling, there they are. Hey, darling, come on in. I saw that somebody sent 30 cups. So somebody gave him $150. And then Chris Google Maps sent him a bunch of coffees. They have been just like hitting his like coffee stuff up without, any issue at all. They've been really, he's a sponsorship from a dentist. Well, if he could find one, he would do it, but he would need to disclose it, but he didn't disclose anything here, I don't think. All right. So that's one of the great, what, $150? Yeah, they did. Sometimes I think when we get like, especially with the boycott, we might find that his regular coffee donators start to send him coffee. This great content's been advertising. Yeah, it has. Come on, someone step up and send him some money so he can at least put it in the dryer. Yes, there's another Walmart shopping trip coming. Absolutely. And we are going to take a look at that tonight just to finish out the to prepare for what we will be missing when we don't watch Tim. And let me just remind you of some of the channels you can watch instead real fast. And then we're going to watch his next video. All right, let me get the next one lined up. Okay. All right. Oh, let me make sure it's big. Okay. All righty. All right. So those are some other channels that you can take a really good look at during this time. And I appreciate you all being here. And if you have not had a chance to hit the likes, make sure you hit the likes because it helps send me up the algorithm. And Yeah, it was a guess. I kind of like looking at the chat, but obviously trying to play devil's advocate over here with Tim. So this video came in 5 hours ago. Oh, he's got his big old buy me a coffee right here, hitting strong, but he's not mentioning the word coffee, which is interesting. He doesn't usually put this in here, so this makes me think that he's trying to get ready for the boycott and just letting his subscribers know that if they just love Tim more than anything, then they can obviously send him coffee because maybe he won't be producing as many videos. We don't know. I mean, he usually it's interesting. I don't know if it's because Tammy is there or what's going on, but he has not been putting out as many videos as usual. So maybe he and Tammy are doing things and she's not in the mood to have him filming constantly. It's hard to say. But he certainly has not been putting out the number of videos he usually does. He's been maybe putting out recently maybe 3 or 4. And, prior to Tammy's arrival, he was spitting out 8, 9, or 10. Maybe he feels like he already made enough money this month from YouTube because it's today's the last day of YouTube earnings. So maybe he took a look at his analytics and thought, yeah, I did pretty good. I made a few $1,000s this month or whatever he gets on his RPM, and has felt that he's made enough money. So he's not really been so concerned about getting the views and putting out the videos. I'm just speculating. I'm not too sure. But usually, it can be a time of the month where either creators start putting out a lot of content to get views, or they have felt to themselves, oh, maybe I've already made enough. And he, because he did get quite a lot of money off of that coffee recently. Someone said, like I said, sent him 30 cups, and somebody else sent him like 10. I mean, they're big donations. When he gets a coffee donation, it's not a cup of coffee. I mean, his obviously, and they're all primarily from men, obviously. So it's, they obviously feel a kinship with our friend Tim here. Okay, let's make sure he's at 1.5 because we don't want to have him 2.5, sorry. Just because I don't want him too slow. But he did release this one out. Oh, what? It's been like 4 or 5 hours now, and he's got just over 2,100 views, which is kind of low for one of his morning chats. You usually see a lot more of a view count here. He still hasn't moved off that 63.3 subs, and he's allowed in 25 comments. Now, I did say something because I did post something today because I've been getting, I'd never seen the ones that had been held for review from YouTube. And I don't have any special words or anything. I just had said if it's, I think I did the lightest, hold for inappropriate content. And some of it I see, and I'd never seen the rest of it. It was pretty graphic. And I just think for my mental health, even the mental health of the people that I make comments, I laugh about Tim, obviously, at a laundromat with a gas station. I'm not really going to make I mean, it was some major trolling, and not necessarily towards me, but just not anything that I would want to have in my comment section, even my channel, because I am somebody who is studying psychiatric mental health. And so I do kind of try to think to myself, what is healthy and, what's free speech and what is just plain trolling, because there's a lot of cussy word. There's a lot of stuff I don't mind. And comments about myself, I don't mind. But when it just gets plain, just crude, I'm just like, no, that's not my channel. Take that to Twitter or somewhere, but not here. Because, as much as I, try to speculate about some of Tim's behaviors and traits, I certainly don't want to be completely vile. I mean, I'll get feisty, don't get me wrong, especially if he's manipulating people through religion or lying about getting things paid forward. Because I really do seriously believe that he is not paying things forward. And I've had people who've seen him out in public who have sent me messages, as you saw, and have told me they didn't even see a family like that what he described, that he supposedly paid it forward to. So I think there is a very gray area there, and he still hasn't shown us any receipts. Okay, Tim, let me make you big so I don't lose my audience here. Let's get into Tim. It's morning chat today. Let's see what's going on. I mean, that's pretty scenery. I'm glad he's out in nature, touching grass.
Hey, how's it going this morning, everybody? Sarasota Tim out taking a walk down this desolate road that actually is not so desolate. I got the I-15 right over here. I'll turn the camera around a minute and show you guys what we're looking at as we walk. The sun is right in my eyes right now. It's going to be 93 degrees up here in Cedar City today. I'm sure triple digit down in St. George. It's 4th of July weekend, baby. So, I mean, 4th of July is not till Thursday, but it's 4th of July week. So it is the peak heat time of the year. But we're up here at 6,000 feet, and it's very comfortable right now. I mean, it's probably, I don't know, upper 70s. Feels pretty good. And we just kind of chilled out yesterday, spending time with one another, doing our own thing. We had laundry to do. I made a video about that. But all that travel from California back and forth and everything we were doing just kind of wore me out. So we went and had something to eat. I videoed that. But pretty much, we just kind of had some alone time. And now today, we're going to take you on a little place that I discovered from Miss April at the Main Street Washateria.
So he is saying they had some alone time, and as they should. If she's come out all that way to visit him, he should have. That is appropriate. But I don't know if that was something that she really sort of said. Put her foot down. And he finally listened because he's trying to, still think about potentially purchasing a home together. He did talk about that recently in one of his videos, that he and Tammy were talking about getting places. And I think he's starting to come to the realization that she wants to remain in Florida. I'm curious, I often speculate that he is trying to isolate Tammy away from her family in order to get more access to her finances. And obviously, it would behoove both of them not to remarry, so as not to lose their spousal's Social Security. I believe, at least in his situation, from what I've read from Social Security, if he is drawing based on the earnings of his ex-wife, because they made more than him and he's drawing on that, were he to remarry, he would lose that benefit. So it would be based on then what he made. And I don't know whether or not Tim would want to do that. It's interesting. And then obviously Tammy Dwayne probably earned more than she did. So she would be drawing Social Security based on her being a widow. And I don't know if there's anything that then says if you remarry, whether that would change anything about her widow benefits, because, now she's married. I'm not sure. That's a question for Dr. Ed Weir on that one, or I'd have to take a closer look at Social Security. Or if anybody knows, put it in the chat. But I don't think it's obviously beneficial for a remarriage at this point, because I don't think either of them were the primary earners in their relationships. And we know that Tim is wanting to think about a place where he can, settle down and put his enormous amounts of clothing items and other things that he purchases into a house, because he's not a minimalist. I believe that he used that because he saw on YouTube that was popular content talking about minimalism. So I think he initially, this is just my thoughts, at first he did one thing about his channel, showed his gun. That wasn't very popular. Wasn't, and something you can't really do on YouTube. So he realized he couldn't go down that route. He then got himself into that, the cramper, as he called it. And he was able then to sort of, I think he wanted to get a YouTube channel. I think he realized there was a way to make money from having a YouTube channel. And so he was trying to pick up on whatever was popular at the time. And there was a lot of content about minimalism and so forth. And he happened then, when he was able to get that Social Security at 62, he was able then to, put out that one video that, for God, whatever reason, went viral. I have no idea. I think it just happened to be picked up in the algorithm. And he was able, a lot of people, like I say, at the time were looking to potentially retire early because it was a difficult time. People were starting to, it was just a time of great change when we were going through the panini, as I call it, to be technical for YouTube. Anyway, let me keep Tim going. I could go on forever. I'm getting more into my classes now and talking about attachment styles and stuff, and getting more into it. So I'll be back in the flow of talking of these things and being able to add it more to the content. Okay, let's not have that part. Let's get rid of that part. Thank you, Premium.
She said there's a place in Cedar City you go down, and something about you get to Glen. It's a store or a road or something. I'll figure it out. And then you turn and you go up. And it's a beautiful drive and some trails. And we're going to get some more exercise. So that's kind of what we're about. And we're said you're going to be talking about hooking up the trailer after the
Cat C was saying about him being able to keep this. No, he will not be able to keep the Tim, because he's an ex-spouse, would not be able to keep that Social Security if he remarried. I think she could potentially, but not him. He cannot keep it. He would have to, he cannot. From what I read, that was one of the really clear rules of Social Security, because he's basing on, he would lose that because now, he's married to somebody else. So no, there was a very clear rule about that with Social Security. And it had nothing to do with age. It was literally if you remarried. So if you're drawing on the ex-spouse, because I think they were divorced because he's had a couple of marriages. I don't know which spouse, but that's not what I understood from reading the Social Security rules. They are very clear about that. So no, he would not be able to keep that money. He would have to go on to his own Social Security. So he can keep Social Security, just not based on that. If you are the divorced person, I think you can remarry if you were drawing primarily from yours. But if you're the one doing the other way, then no, they're not going to let you do that in Social Security. It's not really spousal benefits though, because they weren't married. He's basing it because if you're married over 10 years, Dr. Falcon. So I even did a video about it, and I pulled up exactly what that policy was. And that is not the case. You cannot keep it. You'll have to take it from your Social Security amounts, not that person. It's different in his case. That's what I understood. Right. Most people shouldn't get married after the age of 60 anyway. And the only people that do is because they're the ones trying to get something from you, probably. Not the other way around. You got to be, yeah. It's very confusing because he was never married to any wife for 10 years. Exactly. I mean, and that's what's so interesting. There's a very, I'll try to pull it up real quick. 250 watching now. That's 250,000 people, Dark Planet. 250,000 souls based on Tim's math. All right, I'm going to let him play, and I'm going to find this thing because I did some research about it.
Holiday and going on further north and bringing in some new travels. So we're going to start figuring that out.
I actually did do a video on it. So there is one of my videos, if you want to go back, where I showed what I believe was the policy, and I did some research about it. So it's not cut and dry. If you're basing it, if you got divorced, you had to be married for 10 years. And if you were, and they happen to earn more, then you draw from that, but you can't remarry. and then you'll lose it. You'll lose that amount. So I don't know. We don't know what Tim's situation is. We don't know. We're speculating. But that was very clear with Social Security.
My co-pilot, John, can figure it out. I mean, we're going to be going right up to 15 towards Provo and Salt Lake. And then anything that's beyond that to the left or the right. No more California, although
Right.
it is intriguing. We've done all that, and gas
Aw.
is very expensive over there. So
Thank you.
I thought
Thank
about
you,
going
Lee.
back over there and just leaving the camper again and taking Miss T to San Francisco or Big Sur, the wine country, Napa, just really
Right.
doing more exploration in California because she likes it so good and the weather's so nice. And that's still a possibility. Everything is up in the air with us. We don't know, but you'll know when we know. And here comes a car here. I got to step off the road. I got a beautiful scenery right here. But really, what we have here is failure.
This just shows you how, Tim barely can get away from the highway, but he knows he needs to do some content because people are telling him he never gets out in nature and films anything. So he's literally like steps away from the interstate. But I guess he's saying it's up in the air about what him and Tammy are doing. I got to listen because I got into the Social Security and didn't pay attention to Tim. So is she still making a decision about what to do with her relationship with Tim or about buying the house? I mean, she's got the mom-in-law suite over at her daughter's house, and she could just keep that money and have a good old time till the end of her life. Never stress about anything. Put that money into a home, then they're going to be looking at having to live off of whatever benefits they're on because neither of them are working. Well, Tim works harder probably on this YouTube channel than he's worked in his life because he probably puts more hours a day now that he's supposedly retired and living the dream than he did when he was younger and selling the oil change coupon books, where he made just enough to pay for his golf and, that was it. What a catch. It's, I don't know. They're wild, these two. We'll find out, I guess. Keep going, Tim.
To communicate. It's just a small town. Unless you go down to St. George. And I don't want to, bore Miss T on the golf cart. She loves riding. But if it's going to be really hot, and even though those golf courses down there are amazingly beautiful, and I love golf, I don't want her to be on.
Watching somebody else play golf when you're not playing golf is probably really boring if you're not watching like top PGA players. I mean, that's a whole different thing. Those PGA tournaments will get a huge crowd, but there's a reason for that. I don't think that Miss Tammy is enjoying, getting hot on a golf cart, watching Tim on a golf course. Couldn't imagine anything more boring if you're not playing.
Uncomfortable, just, triple digit heat on one of these golf courses. So that was kind of my plan when she got here, but it was hot over there in Temecula when we played. So the whole idea of leaving Florida was to find cool air, right? Go north. And while we are in a 6,000 foot altitude and it's way better climate than Vegas and St. George.
I have a feeling Tim would be one of these people who would agree to pay the rent and then suddenly be short every month. Yeah, I have a feeling Tim trying to put his name on the deed to that house, even if they're not married. The way he looked at places, it was like he thinks the money's his in his mind, in my opinion. And he's not done a really good job wooing her in that at the moment. He's done a really poor job. He's very selfish. Keep going, Tim.
Up in Montana, I think they had 40s and 60s, even some snow last week. But we don't want that cold. But we just want to see something else. It's beautiful here in Utah. We're at the very bottom of it. We have a lot more of Utah to travel north to if we were to go further north to maybe Idaho or Wyoming or something before we start trekking.
I'm sure Tammy, in reality, would just like you to take her to Vegas and let her stay in a nice hotel for 4 days. Let her play on the slots. And go to some of the nice stores at the Caesar Palace and stuff. He talked about her getting upset about losing her Tiffany pendant off of her bracelet. So I'm thinking that Miss Tammy a little bit more materialistic in that respect and wanting to enjoy the finer things in life. I don't think road tripping with you, Tim, and the Tundra with the RV on the back is Tammy's idea of glamour. I'm not. You probably get better views on your Vegas content. I mean, it doesn't, why don't you just, and it doesn't have to be comped by Johnny Vegas. Can you not just stay and pay for all those coffee donations? You got at least one night in a decent room, sweetheart. He's very, I'm trying to figure out which cluster he's sitting in. It's probably B.
Eastwardly on the north side of the country, back over east, and then down back to Florida. Do you guys know this fun fact? My co-pilot, John, he sent me we can go back this way if you want, and then
Tammy's just living
we'll
her life.
That place we're talking about.
Yeah, that's a 40-year mistake.
Steps in this morning. The co-pilot sent me an article. He sends me everything. That Sarasota in the last 13 years has grown faster than Las Vegas.
Right.
And everybody knows how big.
Right. So Miss Tammy's okay, but not Tim, because he's not getting it from the spouse might be deceased, but they were not married when the spouse became deceased. So he's drawing his based on a divorced relationship, which is very different. Even if the person is passed now, that's irrelevant. If it was somebody that he was married to, and then they divorced, I don't know. Is Tim still married to the last wife? How many wives? I mean, I suppose they had an email from Tim's third wife. So I'm not sure. If it was the one who was the teacher that he was married to when he was young, that might be the one he's drawing on. Maybe it's not even the person that he and Tammy were, friends with couple-wise. Because the teacher would have been the one that would have made the most money, probably, and paid more into the system, just because they had the regular job. But they paid, their stuff is different too, for things too, for teachers. I don't know. I don't think Tim is ever going to let us know very much, but that is not the case. If it's the ex-spouse and you're drawing based on being married for somebody for 10 years and then drawing on the ex-spouse's benefit. Let me see if I can. I may have bookmarked the page. Keep going, Tim. I'm trying to listen to Tim and not look, because otherwise I lose my place with what, pearls of wisdom he's giving me here.
Las Vegas has gotten from the exodus of California. So, that's something to say. So Sarasota is definitely booming, right. Jack. That's the place everybody wants to be.
The first wife passed away, but were they divorced prior to her passing? Or did she pass away while they were married? That would be the crux of it. Because I understand he then had other children with other folk. So if they were divorced, and that's the one he's basing it on, because that was the longest marriage, because it has to be, I believe, 10 years married. That's what I read.
But we're thinking about a town.
Oh, hold on. They'd be that small.
South of Sarasota and the Fort Myers, north of Fort Myers, there's a bunch of communities and little towns in that area that we want to investigate to stay back in Florida. So let me turn the camera around and show you what's going on around here. All right, so we're on this road right outside the Orchard RV park. We'll get over here on the other side and walk against traffic.
Oh, I'm kind of using some of my psychology, Pat, through what I studied when I was at nursing school, because I had to study a lot of psychology, and kind of going back to my remembering of the DSM-5 from that time. I did do actually a lot of rotations in mental health. I actually did a lot of mental health clinicals, just as I did clinicals in hospitals. So I did one with troubled teens, if you may, and people with actually who were inpatient in a specific hospital in a unit that was specifically for mental health. And you had to go through a lot of security to get into that. And I had quite a long rotation there. So I'm kind of going based off of my previous experience when I was studying psychology at nursing school originally. The what I'm going into now is more psychiatry, where you kind of get more into neuroscience. So that's get into the complexities. But psychology is quite a large part of the BSN. So just as heads up. So, but I'm obviously only ever speculating. And he would have to do questionnaires and so forth. I mean, yeah. And I haven't looked at this material before, and I would have to sit and actually listen and analyze. So yeah. So kind of using a little bit of my past experience in my career. And also from my education.
This is the second morning we walked this road, and we're surprised at how much traffic is on it.
Okay.
I think Miss T's gotten used to the I-15 freeway. At least she slept in pretty good this morning, so I don't hear it. It gets really quiet at night about 10 or 11. The traffic pretty much is non-existent out there. It's pretty quiet right now. So just trying to figure out things to do to keep her entertained and myself without being able to play golf. So it looks like it's going to be up in the mountains a little bit today and making some...
I could not imagine having not seen my partner for the time that they have supposedly been away from each other, which has been quite a few months. And he's trying to figure out ways to entertain himself with her there. I mean, she's obviously not out on this, morning chat. I don't know if she's at the RV getting ready for the day with her hair and makeup. I have no idea. I feel like they have a lot in common when they go on a cruise or something. Well, he doesn't treat her great, but that seems more like something that they can enjoy, or laying on a beach somewhere tropical or something. But actually being, I feel like they don't have a lot that they share in common as far as like activities. I mean, I love to play golf. If I met someone who played golf, I'd be happy. I'd be playing golf right next to him. I mean, I'm a bit rusty. I haven't played in quite a few years, but gosh, that would be something I would love to have the time and luxury of time to do. I have so much cleaning always to do in my house, and stuff for work and stuff for school. I'm back to, so you might find that my content on my channel starts to kind of get... I'm still going to try to do at least a live stream a week and maybe a couple of reactions, but it's not going to be probably me putting out daily content, just because I am returning back to work part-time on tomorrow. I have orientation tomorrow afternoon from the home, and then obviously my classes are starting, and so I have a lot of reading, and so I can't really keep up with trying to answer all my comments in my comment section and just kind of keep up with what the different creators are doing on YouTube. I'm obviously more concerned about getting good grades in my classes than what Foodie Beauty and Tim are up to. So you may find that starting in July that I'm, not as frequently on my channel as I had been. So just a heads up. So don't, be surprised if I'm seen less, or I may a couple of times a week live stream, and I may, get a reaction out, but it's not going to be to the daily extent I've been doing, just because of other commitments that I need to have completed.
Videos of the scenery, how fast these cars come. And we'll bring that to you. So let me get my steps in, get on back over to the camper, jump in the crusher, and we'll head over to Cedar City and up in the mountains and crush it. So we're still out here walking. This is the entrance to the Orchards RV park. There's the RV parking area. There's the office. And when you come in, like I say, they've got a gate that stays up all day, but until 9 in the morning when they open. And after 6 p.m., they put this down. You have to have a code you put in where these two bars are right there. Check out this old truck. And if you turn right there at that stop sign, I-15 is literally right there. So very convenient to come in and to get off. There's one of the employees coming in.
Okay, since we're talking about the Social Security, let me share this tab real fast. This is just called Social Security Matters. This is an older one. Just to show. It says ex-spouse benefits. If you're age 62, unmarried, and divorced from someone entitled to Social Security, retirement, or disability benefit, you may be eligible to receive benefits based on his or her record. To be eligible, you must have been married to your ex-spouse for 10 years or more. If you were since remarried, you can't collect benefits on your former spouse's record unless your later marriage ended by annulment, divorce, or death. Also, if you're entitled to benefits on your own record, your benefit amount must be less than you would have received based on your ex-spouse's work. In other words, we'll pay the higher of the two benefits for which you're eligible, but not both. And there's more, and I found something else like totally from the Social Security. But yeah, it's pretty much, that's kind of what I'm referring to. It's different for Tammy than I'm looking at Tim. And you can apply on your former spouse's record, even if she or he hasn't retired, as long as you divorced at least 2 years before applying. There's all sorts of things about it. So I'm curious with Tim where he falls. But anyway, let me get back to him. That's kind of the one I'm referring to. Based on potentially his case. But we don't know. We don't know which spouse. I heard he's been married like 3 times. Oh, that's my dog. Yeah. That's what your John, that's what my ex-wife wanted, but I got rid of them before 10 years. Probably a smart move, John, for you, I'm guessing. I mean, it's just money. I mean, I don't know if then it minimizes what you make. I'm not sure. I haven't reached Social Security age, and if I did have questions, I'm asking Dr. Ed Weir. Thank you, Junebug. Thank you. Oh, sorry. So it's a little different.
Over here, I've shown you before. This is the dog walk. Look, there's horseshoes, swing set, and everything for the kids.
Thank you, Junebug.
There's a little dog place there. I don't know where the horseshoes are. Maybe they're right there, hanging. Want to throw them? Huh? Let's go throw them. All right, let's try it out. So Miss T is going to demonstrate.
Shoot. Okay, good to know. Okay,
she's really good at the cornhole.
I'm not an expert.
These are a little heavier.
Security, and I'm not married.
Right, video
so
me.
None of these
running.
affect me.
My first time.
First time.
I was married, but my ex-husband is not an American citizen. So that's neither here nor there, anything that he does. And I have never since remarried because I'm really lousy at picking partners. So, so I said, that's a hardcore nix. And now I'm going to be 55 this year. And if I were to meet anybody, I doubt I would think about getting married at this older age. I have seen a couple that did that recently in my family. Like she was in her 70s and he was in his late 60s and they just got married. I mean, I guess it was, a benefit to both, I guess. I mean, they're both still working, I believe. So neither have retired. She's still working. And so I think at this point it's different in their situation. But, I certainly would not I don't even want to date people. So what am I even talking about? Keep going, Tim. Oh, no. Is this Tammy here finally filming?
You really got to throw them.
Well, they weigh a lot.
Let's go down here and try it one more time.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, she's dangerous on cornhole. But this is a little further distance, and they're heavy. Throw our backs out. But it's cool. They put this game in here. It's all box.
If Tim, your back is out, where's that illegal prescription patch that Johnny Vegas gave you? Illegal in the respect that here. Thank you, Junebug. Thank you. I tell you, the storm. Okay, sweetie, it's okay. It's okay. I know it's Tim. I know he's upsetting. Tim stresses her out. Okay, thank you, Junebug. Okay. All right, I'm gonna let Tim play. I'm gonna open the door for her so she can see nobody's out there to get her to know that she's doing her job so well. All right, guys.
Boxed in for us. Now we're facing the sun.
I can't even see.
Throw it hard.
I can't.
Oh, that's a good toss. It got in there. Look, she's close to the bar. Everything counts in horseshoes. Oh, yeah. Oh. All right, here's me. One time. The fingers are in the way of the lens over there. Here we go.
See.
Here we go. Horseshoe time. We can't get it in. Let's go see.
How are you enjoying the thrilling content? At least Tammy's back in her job as camera person. You know, Tim, big spender here. He's got to enjoy whatever free activities are at the RV park. Bless your heart, Tim. Oh, hold on, guys. I got to think for some
look
super
at that.
thanks here. Hold on. I'm obviously, you can
And
tell
when
I'm
it's touching,
over here
there's a point there.
trying to make sure I can do everything. Oh, my goodness. Thank you for this generosity, sharing the journey. $2 donation to the grad school fund. I appreciate it. I just saw the cost of one of my books today and almost had a heart attack. And Miss Lee. Oh, Lee, you're so sweet. You are so kindly. I know you were getting ready for a holiday and not saying where you're going, but I just know, and you have your little puppy. And I hope you guys had a good time today. As we could see, every time it rains, though, June doesn't get to go to the puppy park. So she wants this weather to come to an end. But thank you, guys. I really do appreciate those stickers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah, there's no reason to get remarried. But some people, you know, they find love later in life. I was surprised with my relative because this is marriage number 3. He was married to my cousin who sadly passed away at a very young age. The second marriage was a little bit of a hot mess. And then he's now found love a third time. So, you know, for some people they like that commitment. I'm not a fan. I'm kind of introverted and weird. So I guess I do better with dogs. Keep going.
Four, I'm winning.
Oh,
Up here.
Sorry, I went back too far because I was so upset with that comment that Tim just made about him. Here we are. Was he here? Yeah, he was right here. Sorry. He's like, I'm winning. Tim, you're just playing horseshoes. He reminds me of somebody that if you were playing like a board game with him or cards and he thought he was the better player and then you started playing and you won, he would be very upset. There's an emotional stunting that I can feel with Tim sometimes. Like, that's not, you know, most of the time at this age. I mean, don't get me wrong. I see how competitive people get with that pickleball by the tennis courts by my house. Very, very probably competitive pickleball players coming out. But, you know, why would you say this to a person you're trying to woo? I don't know. It's like, I don't think that's important. It's just you guys are out there having fun. But I think everything in life for Tim is a competition, is what I'm starting to sense. It's competition to have the best this, the best that, the best cup of coffee, there's so many different countless things that he is showing an immaturity of growth. Like he just hasn't left these things in his childhood. I don't know if he just didn't, get picked for the school sports team. I have no idea. But he's definitely somebody who's very competitive and not necessarily in a healthy way. That's just my perception. All right, let's see how you keep trying to brag about beating poor Miss Tammy at some horseshoes. Ugh. Oh. Thank God Tammy got the camera. Oh, well, thank you, Lee, again.
Oh, here you
My
go.
goodness.
You're supposed to just do it from there.
Miss Leah, you're being so generous today. And Junebug is doing a great job protecting me. Thank you so much for that very generous super chat there. Yes, she's protecting me from Timmy. Oh, I promise you. When I do reactions to Foodie Beauty, sometimes, oh, she gets really upset. And there was another reaction channel I was watching the other day, and the guy was like, I think it was the Dad Challenge podcast, and he tries to call out family vloggers. And so I look at other reaction channels because this is very successful to see kind of, what they do that works for their viewers. And obviously, I think about different things. And he was really shouting, and she got really upset. And I was trying to figure out, like, why is she like suddenly hiding in the shower? Like, what's going on? I was just sitting here over at the computer doing some stuff. And I think it was because the person was shouting. So yeah, she doesn't like it. Yeah, she is a good girl, Marina. She doesn't like all of it. So I have to sometimes watch myself not getting too excited. She's right next to me at the moment. Get too excited because of the fact that it can, stress. And I'm so always surprised because this guy's dogs are like chilled in the background, but his shouting the other day upset my little puppy. So yeah. Come on, Feral Farm Girl, come on in. So yeah. All right, keep going, Tim. I don't know if we skipped some of the exciting horseshoe match, guys, and I apologize for that. I mean, this is stellar content from Tim. He's not mentioned the word coffee once. Interesting. Oh, Dr. Falcon.
I'll video you.
Thank you. Oh,
Just
my
she's
goodness.
fascinated with the mountains. She had to stop videoing them.
Oh my gosh,
I'm gonna zoom
guys. I really appreciate this generosity. Thank you, Dr. Falcon. Steady on. Great job. Thank you. And watching and judging you. Why do I watch these? The guy makes me ill, yet here I am. Must be the car wreck syndrome getting the best of me. I think it gets the best of us. It's like, I think it's because, it's like a soap opera. We're invested in Tim and Tammy's story now. It's not, I think that's kind of what happens is you watch people and then you get invested in their story. Like, we want to know, is Tammy really going to turn around and buy this man a house and put his name on the deed? Where are they going to live? What more things can Tim get up to? In reality, it's probably not much. But I guess it's interesting because most of the time we're used to seeing, these types of dramas play out, if you may, on YouTube with much younger individuals. And this is finally, we've got somebody who's a little older making some really bad decisions. And so we're all sort of sitting back in fascination at the end of the day, because we're all thinking, how did he get through life like this? I mean, I'm always fascinated to find that there are so many people that are prepared to send him like huge amounts of money through that Buy Me a Coffee. You'd be shocked at how much he got in like a few days. Like, more than he would ever get standing in Publix handing out his little hot dogs and little food bits. Far more money than that. He probably makes more money off the Buy Me a Coffee than he actually makes from YouTube. So it probably behooves him to continue to have his channel, and his channel being, out there because of what he can make on the side. Think of all the free items that he's received. Hotel rooms from people. Hotel rooms. It's just amazing. I would love to sit down. Obviously, I don't have the time because, I'm a little bit busy. But if I did have the time, I would love to calculate how much in just the past week between the hotel rooms, meals, clothing items, golf club items, quite a lot of Buy Me a Coffee, exactly how much he was able to get just from that in a week, thanks to having the YouTube platform that he actually made from YouTube itself. That would be something that would interest me to calculate. because it's probably, I mean, all those Vegas rooms, the meal, I mean, it's a lot, guys. You would be shocked. You'd be shocked probably at how much that he managed to obtain financially in just a week's time. Was he's like traveling around in this RV with this like terrible content. Lee says it's Jim Jones effect, cult to personality for Tim supporters. Yes, and I've wanted to. There was a very good article that I was reading, not to bore people about it, but and I want to get enough time. Sometimes it's like I start to read things and I realize I need to get the dog walk. I need to get the I'm always like, let me just give myself an hour to read. Anyway, let me not go on about that. I don't think Tim is transgender. I don't think so. And I sometimes, it fascinates me that I think because he's supposedly been so open about himself as a person online, and he can seem, I guess, very charismatic to individuals meeting him, that he has been able to get people who just want to either be associated with him, so they're prepared to give him things. So it's like that, being like fame adjacent almost. Or is it really because they've kind of fallen into it? And what makes those people then fascinated with him? Oh, it just, it always makes me curious. Dwayne received the house from his mother. It was paid for. Okay, that's interesting. I have, I've always thought to myself, gosh, I would love to, actually do a documentary about Tim and who Tim is. But that type of time that takes for the people who do those types of documentary shows on YouTube, I know it takes them a lot of time to put it together. So maybe it's something I would slowly do, but I would need to literally have people let me know what his past was. And he has so many videos. I mean, it's just thousands because he's put out so many in a day. It's not like he's put out one a day. So there's only maybe a few videos to go through. This man was spitting out 10 videos a day. So, I mean, it's like, how far can you get back into Tim's history to kind of figure out who he is as a person? And then obviously all the stuff with the EIDL loans, the stuff that he has is, his crushing it for Christ. And just, I mean, it's just the minimalism, the Social Security, telling people they could just have a little side hustle at Publix. He is so far from the side hustle at Publix. I don't know why he has that picture of him saying crushing it where he's got his little vest on with the bow tie and his little badge, because he's not. I mean, I just think that he was doing that, initially because he needed that extra income to hit inflation or, or to cover his costs. And it just happened he made it into content. And that was what made people think that he was this affable, likable person. And I think the more that time goes on in his channel, the more we're seeing Tim for the type of true colors that he has. And maybe the type of person he was when he was going door to door. I mean, it's interesting to see the people that, there was the guy, Jay. I haven't heard about Jay for a while. There was another one. There were all sorts of people. Thank you, Miss Vicky. Miss Vicky, I know, has been watching him for a while. And I watched him from a long time ago, which is why I was so fascinated when he did the thing where he literally flashed himself in front of the refrigerator. I was like, this guy is wild. Like, he's an interesting study for me and what I do. But it's and for me too, I sort of, my interest as I go into psychiatry really does kind of look at social media. This is what I'm fascinated in, is social media and how it does affect us as a society, as a community, as we go forward. Because we're kind of in the, I mean, literally, what's the term I'm looking for? I'll think of it. But we're kind of like at the dawn of this. I guess that's the term. So we're kind of like in the wild times of social media because it's so new to us. So it's like this wild west, if you may, where there really is very few rules and no holds barred, and everybody is just kind of showing who they are. It's not like where you would find yourself in a community in your town and you kind of potentially minding your behavior because you don't want it to affect you on a personal level. It's fascinating. And since it is so new, we have very few studies. And I listened to some very interesting things about, one of the things that I find fascinating about him is how judgmental he is. And I listened to a very interesting thing about, judgment and making judgments of others. And that's one of the things that I've really noticed about Tim is like he really judges harshly those who don't have very much. Like, oh, I didn't go to the bad side of town, or calling people who are unhoused, who could be potentially veterans, bums. And this is somebody who was living in the cramper. So I don't know if he's reflecting that upon his own self, like he kind of puts those people down because he sees in them what he is literally just a stone throws away from, so he kind of, says, derogatory things because he's, because he somewhere in the back of his mind potentially thinks I could be that person. Or is he just it's fascinating. Yeah, don't forget to hit the likes. He is wild. And it's addiction, just like heroin. Yeah, and I wonder if he's back on his back on the wine or something, and thinking that wine is an alcohol, which it's stronger than beer. And I've worried about, I've had concern because he was walking around with non-alcoholic beer, which is, if you are somebody who says you are no longer, drinking and do have difficulties with alcohol moderation and managing that, then that is not recommended for somebody who did have addictions to alcohol. That would be like a big no. Like, no, if you were somebody who was a light beer drinker and just want to enjoy the taste of a beer, and your doctor's, saying it's not good to have alcohol with your blood pressure medications or something, and you still want the taste of beer, then a non-alcoholic beer isn't going to be a problem. But Tim actually spoke about being a regular drinker, and therefore that he, was a good Christian man, quit alcohol. But I don't know, because Tammy still drinks. And so and he was trying to get her a pina colada or something the other day. So it's obviously, that wouldn't be good for somebody who was in recovery from alcohol. And obviously Tim probably didn't seek anybody to talk to. He probably just, I don't know if he just realized that it's hard to say, but I don't think he's sober. I don't think Tim's sober at this moment, in my personal opinion. Okay, let's keep going with Tim before midnight.
In there.
Get chatty.
Throw it in there real good.
Stop it, chatty Kathy.
Oh, not quite to the box yet. Come on. That was in there. Here, you can throw mine. I'll video it. Get some more practice.
There's Tammy.
That's heavy. For real.
Oh, Tammy's there.
Sorry. Ow. No, I did it with this arm. That's why.
All right, everybody. This is the exterior restrooms that you need to use your code to get.
See, he's got to get a little Tammy in there. She's, he's probably said to her, hey, nobody's watching this stuff unless you show up in it. And so she showed up a little bit, Well, that's a cute little tobacco roof there. I like that.
Get in. There's two more exactly like it on the inside when the office is open that you can go in. And then back here is the gas fire pit, picnic tables, Adirondack chairs, regular table and chairs.
Well,
this is the living room area. I'm making a video for you guys.
But only in a small portion.
And the big screen TV.
Bathroom door. I know.
So on cool evenings, you come out here. They'll light this, sit around, chat with everyone. I'm sure it's very
cozy when it's
horseshoes or horse?
cold out. It will
Yes.
get cold. There's 101 inches
Yes, he is
of
full
snow
the
annually
horseshoes.
here in New Harmony, Cedar City. But you can see the place was just built 2 years ago. If you come here with your RV, you're definitely not going to be disappointed. I mean, look, they keep the garbage clean and emptied. I mean, everything is perfect here. Quiet. Everybody's considerate. And
Sorry, I
there's a big
hit the wrong
dumpster.
button. I had to laugh. Tim literally putting his finger into the trash can. Look, it's clean. Oh, I mean, I have to toss my dog bag from a distance still into the trash cans. Oh, I mean, that's probably looks like scorched earth. I mean, it's very clean. I'm sure these people need to be warned that Tim could be filming them in the buff. Watch out, guys. Keep your curtains closed. Keep your
They're there
pants
for
on,
your
Timmy.
trash. Let me see if this code works.
I know, he touched it.
It says it's vacant, but you can't go in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the code, but I don't see any.
Oh,
other
I
digits.
know. That's
Oh, here we go.
bad.
Those the buttons are missing.
It's different.
So it works. It's the same code as it's the same code as the door.
I had to clap. We've gone from a laundromat. Okay, the content getting real good. We've gone from a laundromat now into the restroom, and then we're gonna hit Walmart for an oil change. I'm telling you, the content's coming out hot. This is, the vlogs that we need. Is he trying to get a sponsorship from the RV park now? I mean, is this what people, I don't know. Is this what RV travelers, I don't watch a lot of RV content just because I'm not an RV traveler at the moment. So I'm not watching, I might watch other things. Like I watched a whole thing about narcissistic mothers last night from somebody, and stuff about the Lucy Letby case and kind of what was going on there. So I might watch like psychologists and psychiatrists on YouTube talking about certain cases, and also to watch their content so that potentially as I work my way through school, that I'm going to be able to do the same type of content as well. So I'm, fascinated. But is this what RVers show in their content? Bertie the Explorer, any of you guys out there who know, is this what the RV community wants to see? Let me know in the chat.
The gate to come in. You have a big shower. Everything up here. Hand shower there. And it's your own private area here.
Absolutely,
big mirror.
Fran.
Look how clean everything is. Paper towels, soap. The sink is absolutely perfect. Toilet's clean. And you even have sanitary napkins for that. So place to hang your towels and everything. This is a super, super nice. You don't want to use your RV or your spouse is using it at the time. You want to come right down here. You can just come in and put your code in. All just says vacant. When you come in, you put the deadbolt on and then no one can come in. And that's how that works. Oh, you're going to use it? Okay. Close the deadbolt. And on that note, we're going to go down to Cedar City and check out this area that Miss April told us about from the laundromat. Crush it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta stop that. Oh, that's gonna come up with our community. Oh, there's Grifters Anonymous. Hey, Grifter. Oh my goodness. I would have thought, oh my goodness. Miss Vicky says he thinks future travelers will watch his video about the campground. The problem is he doesn't reference anything about the campground in this video. Does he even say the name of the campground? I'm not sure. It just says morning chat there. I know, isn't it riveting, Rosebud? Aren't you? Oh yeah, this is the poor Tammy. She's like, excuse me, I actually need to use this now that we're in. One thing that Tim is not filming. Oh my God. Yeah, he's aiming for a discount. All right, Claudette. He is. Oh, Bertie's going to let us know. Bertie travels. films her while touching the sanitary tissue for the seat. Gross with her in the shot. What a guy. He's scared to tell where he's staying. Yeah, I mean that would be true, Colonel Bucket. But he also said that, and I think it was Miss Vicky who pointed this out. Let me know in the chat, because I think it was you, Miss Vicky, who mentioned that YouTube discourages people from meeting their subscribers, outside of, say, a YouTube event or any type of like event. And it's not that any of us think you're bad people. It's just there have been cases where, there's the Joy the Life and Vibe community there, where younger people, there have been some serious like cases where things have not gone well. Not there's a many, they're probably outliers, but it's just something that they generally discourage. If you are both content creators and, look, just came in for Tim, buy me a coffee. Let me change over to the next thing we're going to go to. Let me share this tab instead. We're going to look at his oil change. But we did get a nice little shout out to some of our folks here. Look, here's some of our guys on the boycott over here. It's popping up my algorithm. It's just fascinating to me that he is so prepared to go out and meet complete strangers. He gives them all geographical names. I'm Virginia Ray now. And I say I live in Virginia. I say I live in Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is a big city. Even if I say I live where I live, close to the beach, good luck trying, you really would have to look around and find, shoot, the Amazon guy can't even find addresses in my neighborhood. I'm always finding like lost delivery drivers in my neighborhood and having to tell them where to go. And because it's very confusing. So it's just, it just fascinates me that he is so willing and prepared to get out there and meet strangers that he's had just emailing him through the internet. He's no seeming idea that could be dangerous, that there could be something that could go wrong, that somebody who's been seeing him with all this stuff wouldn't think about robbing him. Maybe they're promising him a bunch of stuff, a golf game, a meal, a set of golf clubs. He doesn't know. They could rob him. I mean, you have to, it's like he's almost like unaware of things. There were people that literally, he said, has showed up because they knew, like, Jay and his wife, I'm sure, were very nice people, but you just showed up because they knew Tim was at that campground. It's just, he doxes himself all the time. Yeah, Marina, he does. He doxes himself constantly. I try to make sure I don't dox myself too hard here at my own home. So if I'm filming anything, it's not going to be right next to my house because I don't really want people to know where my house is exactly. Not that I think a bunch of people are going to show up, but you never know. There could be some rabid Tim fam who wants to come and do me harm that lives in my area. So you just, or to just meet somebody. He's like, he was meeting Temecula Jay at McDonald's just to get to know him better. It's like, what is that? It just seems like so strange. So strange. Yeah. Oh, Tammy subscribed to my channel? She can be. Hey, we know Foodie's coming and subscribed. All right. So we got through the Main Street wash. Let's get on to the oil change real fast. Actually, before we do that, let me get over here. Let me make this small. I'm just curious. Oh, hold on. Wanted to see what type of videos does he put out before we head over to there. Let's see what he's got. Okay. So I guess he and Tammy are spending time together. And tomorrow I'm not going to know what content he puts out because I'm not even going to look at his content. He's just had these, looks like 3 videos today. And their views are low. 2.4 on this one, 2.1, and 1.3. So if I'm happy if the boycott starting early, because this is low. This is a guy who got over, I think, 1 million views on one video. So this is like, these are like my numbers. And I'm a tiny channel doing very specialized content, obviously, because I talk about primarily two terrible individuals on YouTube platform. One being Foodie Beauty, who I potentially am going live tomorrow night or Tuesday night. I have a registered nurse with a lot of experience, and she and I have been talking, and she wants to come on panel. She has a channel too. And so I'm trying to see if we're going to do the Burger King mukbang, because she knows she did a lot with diabetics and diabetes type 2. She got a lot of experience in that area. So I'm fascinated to hear from another healthcare professional her thoughts of Foodie Beauty and her diet and how she's managing her medications and so forth. And so I have that planned. But these are terrible views. I mean, he was getting much more here. Look, see, his audience way more interested in the casino. They weren't very interested in this drive, which we're not even going to look at. And we're just going to get over to this Walmart oil change. And yeah, that's kind of where he's at. And he may spit out another video or two before the end of the night. I don't know. After this, I'm going to do some other things. Oh, we got Miss Tammy in the background here. Just drop it in the chat, because we're making engagement, where you like to get your oil changes from. Yeah, thank you, Pat. Yes. I'm just need to catch up and see which day we're going and what mukbang we're going to look at, because Chantel has been very happy lately. So this is just an idea of the spectacular content that we will be missing on our 2-day hiatus from Tim. You got there's this guy, this random Jay that he's just met, and Temecula Steve or California Steve, and they're out playing golf. I'm surprised it got that many views, but maybe people wanted to see this guy. This chat was terrible. This thank you 100,000 beautiful souls. He was on a moment there. This one I had to actually do a personal reaction on, because he was wild. I mean, can you imagine? 4.2 thousand people looked at this 3-minute video of them eating dessert. Isn't that crazy? I tell you, social media is a very interesting place. All right. So we got almost 40. Oh, look, that's probably me here. I'll get you to 1,400 views in a minute, Tim. 57 comments. And Patricia's saying that Walmart treats their employees like garbage. No reply from Tim. This guy says the only problem is why is this a problem? I have 3 years of free oil changes at Toyota dealership since I bought a new 2024 4Runner. Oh gosh. It's probably a good idea to check fluid levels after each oil change anyway. I mean, are you really going to listen? I mean, you bought a 4Runner like he had. Are you really listening to the oil changes at Walmart? Somebody said here, Kenneth says it's riveting. Somebody said, I'm going to take my 4Runner to Walmart for its next oil change and get the tires rotated. Thanks for reminding me. Everyone else is like, I like to get my oil changes at the dealership for about $56. And then, personally, with my car, I got the plan with my car, the maintenance plan, like the lower end one, but a maintenance plan that I get the oil changes with my car as while I'm paying my loan off, which I don't have long left to go. So at some point I'll have to be paying for them. But that's been a godsend, because when I go to the dealership and they try to tell me that I need to get my brakes aligned or whatever my actual mechanic friend tells me I don't really need to have done to my brand new car. And my car is in very good condition. And if I need a brake pad change or anything of that nature, my mechanic friend will do it for like $75 and the cost of the pads or whatever. It means that they can't, tell me that they won't do my oil change because I'm not getting the other service stuff done. Because they offered, I think, free oil changes, but the caveat to that is that if you don't get the recommended services along with it, like the brake fluid change and all this stuff that my mechanic tells me I don't need to have done, because I have a friend who's a car mechanic, and he'll just say, you don't need that and you don't need that. I go in and remind them that I have the maintenance plan and they have to do my oil change. And like I said, I'd rather get it at the dealership while I can. All right, let me get to Tim before people tell me, why are you talking about your oil changes? Because Tim's getting an oil change. That's why. It's all in context. Got Miss Tammy over here wondering why she's got to wander around at Walmart. They'll take forever at a Walmart, man. I used to get my tires changed at Walmart. Gosh, it used to take forever. I'll be wandering around that Walmart for hours with nothing to buy or do. Okay. All right, let me share. Am I on this time? All right, let me see. Oh, I've meant to hold on. There we are. Okay. Make sure I'm in the right place. All right. Let's hear about your Walmart oil change, Tim. And I've sped him up. Okay, go.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from Walmart Auto Center right inside here. Just got my oil change, and I got some very important news for anybody that wants to get an oil change, okay? Are you ready for this? You got to listen up. I will never, ever use anybody but Walmart for my oil changes or tires. That's all they do. It's hard to mess up when you only do a couple of things, all right? First of all, let me show you something. You see that right there? That's called a pit. They do not lift your car up, which can damage your car if they set these jacks wrong and they go to lift you up. They use a pit. They just simply drive your car in and they slide those back and they go underneath and do what they got to do. Now, I'm going to tell you something out here.
All right.
Also,
okay. The other thing is, like, I actually, have, when I did have a very long-term boyfriend, we just didn't ever marry, but we were together for a long time. He used to do my oil changes for me. Tim, I thought you knew all these things about cars. How are you not doing your own oil changes? Oh, I mean, not that I'm saying I want you to, because you probably don't know the proper place to dispose of the oil. But even I change my own filters in my car, because they want to charge me for the filter, and I'll just go and purchase it myself and change that thing myself, because I don't need them to do it. They want to charge me $60 for something that costs $13 and takes me 2 seconds to do. So I just do that myself when that needs to be changed. I just know every time I get the oil change, I make sure I get order the filter, because my car is a little bit specialized, and get that and switch it out. Still saves me a ton of money. I do my in-cabin filters as well. I do all that stuff myself, like simple stuff like that I do. Yeah. Tim is just he's trying to talk about all this money he saved, and then he can't even do his own oil change. I thought that was like basic standard for guys here in the United States. At least all the ones I knew. Unless they have a Mercedes or something. But if you got a basic truck or something, man. Anyway.
Oh, this was the fastest oil change I ever got done. It's a Sunday here in Cedar City, Utah. Normally it's 3 hours so we can get to you at most places. But the most competent people in the world, just like in Jacksonville, the last one I got very lucky. You won't find this in Boynton Beach. But they took me right in. And what I like about the Walmart services is these guys, all of these things that are checked.
You're making a good point there about he talks like everyone else is an idiot or has some amazing revelation. And I don't like to use the word idiot, lightly or anything. It can be, but in the respect that get out of your head. Okay. I will. Don't you worry. But it's like, his audience is older. They've been having cars for a lifetime, you know? I mean, most of these people have probably had a car for 50 some years. So, and he's acting like he's like breaking news about the Walmart, man. Why on earth would you film an oil change? It's because I swear he's trying to get some type of sponsorship from Walmart. I swear he's trying to get a sponsorship from Walmart because the only store he ever promotes is Walmart. And yet he doesn't have any Walmart affiliate links, just Amazon. I'm always shocked. I'm like, really? No Walmart affiliate links? Where's your affiliate link to the Walmart oil change? This Walmart is way better than I mean, I used to get, I used to do my tires and stuff at Walmart because I had a cheap car at one point, and then one of my friends who didn't know how to drive stick shift, which is what I had, got a job at one of these Walmart auto centers and told me what a hot mess it was. And I had to teach her how to, hey, Kyle, come on in. I had to teach. He's using synthetic oil. The normal stuff isn't good. Yeah, I hope he's using synthetic too, because that's the only thing I'll allow in my car. Because then you only have to oil change every 7,500 miles. It's much better. You get much better, much cleaner. Who knows? Tim cheap. But, I mean, I would think that Tundra would need synthetic. Not the old dirty stuff. The tires from Walmart they don't, Rosebud. They don't last long. I don't get my tires from Walmart. I get my tires from AAA. Or there was the other place. Oh, gosh. There was a Discount Tires, actually. They have good tires over at the Discount Tire store. I mean, they'll pop a tire on fast. I used to get them with the AAA because they used to, before COVID, it would be like, I am going to need to get new tires at some point. But they did have the, buy 3, get 1 free with free, like a rotation for the, whatever time you had the tires for. So that was a good deal. But I'll go to AAA Car Care Center to get my tires done. That, or the Discount Tire place that was down the road. That place actually was bomb. But yeah, Discount Tire is best. Yes, thank you. Yeah, Discount Tire is probably the best. Walmart. Right. Walmart sponsorships are hard. They require an influencer to do a lot of work. I'm sure. I cannot imagine trying to, that's why I like the brand that I have. And that's one of the things I have to focus on this week is that video for that company. Because I did get a really nice recliner and I need it. But I wanted to film me actually setting the recliner up. So I'm having to move some furniture in my living room in order to do that. So, and I one of it is a chair that Junebug likes to sleep in. So I'm trying to figure out where just a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, let me not talk about that. Nobody wants to care about that. But really, Tim? Shoot. Like I said, I was using Walmart 20 years ago for my car stuff when they had a brand new Walmart. Now it's like it takes too long. I'd rather just go to the dealership where I can plug in my laptop and sit and enjoy myself after I get my best cup of coffee ever to go in there.
I'll show you a close-up on here. And to prove they check them, I'm going to prove it to you. They actually check this whole list of things that the dealers, half of them don't even do. My tires were slightly overinflated for towing.
I like that.
And they actually put them back down to what the door jamb says. And they told me, they said, if you are in next time in that situation, if you tell us not to touch them, we won't. Well, we have to put what's in the
Olive oil. That's funny that you mentioned the Doherty Dozen, because that was like the Dad Challenge podcast is the one that's always riding her hard for all the junk food she buys the kids from there. And that was the one that Junebug's finally fallen asleep. Bless her heart. It's been a hard afternoon for her with the storm. Oh, she finally sleeping and snoring. Oh, cutie pie. But yeah, that he's the one that was shouting kind of loud that got Junebug all scared, thinking some guy was shouting at her. So sometimes I have to watch which reactors I put on my TV because I cast them onto the television, and she's like gets frightened by them. She really was frightened. I had to turn the TV down because he was getting real passionate about a family vlogger. Anyway, check him out. He's funny to watch. Okay, keep going.
The door. And so we can't add any more air, but you can do it. If I want to bring it over here, we'll give you the hose and you can do it because they're liable. So they put me back down to 36 PSI right here. Also, all these other things they check. When they take your oil screw out, where your oil comes out, people can strip those, right? You've heard of that. They use a...
Tim, aren't you checking your tire pressure once a week, especially since you're traveling so much? My insurance guy told me he wants me checking my tire pressures once a week, even if, so the car wash that I have has a tire thing there, and I check it there. Make sure I get air in the tires if they go. What do you mean? You should be checking that regularly, mate. That's not good.
Torque wrench that clicks after it gets so many pounds pressure, it will not let them over tighten it. The same way when they rotate your tires, they use a what did I just say it was called? A torque wrench when they torque the lug nuts on your tires when they rotate them. So that way, put the Walmart behind me, they're advertised for these guys. Because if they ain't got it, you don't need it. So they do everything properly. They even reset the computer about my maintenance light. They torque everything. They put 8 1/2 quarts of oil in my engine. And I told the guy, it's not that I don't trust you, but I'm going to check it because it does take 8.5. He goes, oh yeah, we know that. And then the dealer, shorted me a whole quart that one time at the Toyota place. So he's already got it right. But I'm going to bring it over and get some air in it. But I just want to tell you, and the price, $76 was the total for a synthetic oil change for 8.5 quarts. That's phenomenal. You can't find that.
Good night, Claudette. I know you got to get that prison job ready to go. So I want you to get ready to get to prison. I've got to get to my prison jobs orientation, but luckily it's online and it's only for a short amount of time. And I'm excited because I'm actually going back to being a nurse. And I'm actually going to be taking care, because I like my prison job, but I'm working with complex need cases in the home. And one of my first my patients is a little 1-year-old, potentially little babies. So, I'm excited. I'm not going to say much more because obviously I don't want to violate any privacy things, but I'm excited because I'm going to be helping folks, I'm excited. I'm excited because they're very flexible with my school, and I get to go back and do hands-on care with patients, which I absolutely love and have missed doing. I'm finally feeling well enough, and I'm really excited. And so yeah, I love little babies and taking care of people and working with families, and so to be able to get back out and to be able to help folks again in that respect is something I'm excited about. So I love my prison job, Tim. I love my prison job.
You'll spend $200 almost anywhere. So anyway, $76 is the total price. And that's like unheard of. So you can't beat it. 8.5 quarts of oil. And I went with the 0.20. I didn't put the 0.30 in like some of you
I need to hear how much he said.
Because
I
live in Florida.
Paid? Hold on. Let me go back. How much did he say paid? Like I said, I have mine included in my my car payment, I guess. And I got a very good deal on it at the time because I worked out how much I was going to pay for the maintenance plan and then how much potentially oil changes could go up because, especially with, how the economy has changed. I tell you, it was the best thing I ever did. And I don't worry about it. I just don't worry about it. It's just, it's taken care of.
With a 0.20, I didn't put the 0.30 in like some of you suggested because I live in Florida and it's hot there too. So it doesn't matter. But they check everything over like they're supposed to. And I'm very pleased with it. So if you ever need an oil change, absolutely patronize Walmart.
Thank you, Pat.
These dealerships, man, they're just out to take some money from you and try to sell you things you don't even need. So if Walmart ain't got it, I don't need it. These guys crushed it.
Oh, sorry, guys. I thought I was going back and finding out how much he spent on the oil.
The housing crisis.
I'm sorry about that. I can't remember what he said. $80 is ridiculous. All of my changes are free for the car and the Jeep. There's a free wave program. Yes, it used to be with my dealership originally that they would do the free oil changes for life as long as you had the car with them. And those were the good old times. And so for the longest time, I had that. And then when the Panini happened, they got rid of that. So I ended up just, when that happened, I then put the maintenance plan on my car, like not a fancy one, but just like a little maintenance plan with the dealership. It wasn't very much money. And I worked out, well, for the cost of that, over 5 years and the cost of potentially oil changes, labor costs, everything else, that it was a much better deal. And the good news is like I said, with the dealership I go to, they do the free oil changes, but they insist that you have to get the other maintenance things that they require that could be in the thousands of dollars. So for your free oil change, if they say that you need your brake fluid change, which you may not actually need that brake fluid change, but they'll just say it's due on the car, then they'll say, you have to do that to get your free oil change. But since he says he lives in Florida. We know he's not there. Yeah, that's what I have for the car. Tell you, all the maintenance free forever, so long as I go to the dealership I bought it from. Yeah. It's like, but they wanted to make sure that for the free oil changes that weren't part of a maintenance plan, that you have to do the other service. So if it's like a brake or fluid or whatever they say you need to do through the car, and you see the bill, it's like thousands of dollars. You're like, what? You're like, you're thinking to yourself, but they can't say that to me. They can't say, well, we insist that you get this done, or we insist that you have us change the filters or whatever, because they can't do that because I have the plan. So it's it means that I can just walk in and get that done without having to get all the other things they recommend at the dealership that maybe the car doesn't really need. Ford charges you $60. Right. Tire rotation, toss of fluid. Yeah, I get the fluid top off and all that stuff. Ford charges you just $60. Right. I mean, that's something. You just paid $93 a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it depends, I guess, on how much oil and the type of oil too. So Tim always talking about the Walmart. What can I say, guys? What can I say? Well, I just wanted to share those three with you. Your changes are free with the dealership for 5 years. Oh, that's a good deal. Yeah, I think every dealership has its thing. Like I had one that, like I said, it was like lifetime with the car at one point and then, they changed policies at COVID and they got rid of all that stuff. And so when I went and bought my car during that time, they gotten rid of all those free plans at the time. And so that's why I put the maintenance plan on, but it was the best thing I ever did. It's an oil change. I know. You have 35,000 miles on your truck. Well, trucks are good like that. Yay. Thank you, Lee. Yeah. Your truck is $100. Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure it depended on the area. Tim not in Florida. I'm just scared that he's not checking his tire pressures more regularly. Like I said, my insurance agent told me you should do it weekly for the safety of your car, because you just never know. I mean, I know my car screams at me anyway if anything were to happen with the tire pressure. But I think just as a good rule of thumb anyway, you should just be checking it weekly just to make sure everything's okay. I mean, that's what I do. I just check it weekly just to make sure, because it is summertime now and it does change the pressures in the car. You make your hubs check tires all the time? Yeah. That sounds like a good plan, Sean. Absolutely. Tim acting like he's new to car maintenance, and I thought he worked at a dealership. Yeah, pressure gauge. He doesn't. Pat, somebody's gonna have to actually give him a pressure gauge. He's gonna, because that $3 piece of equipment, he's gonna want somebody to buy him one. I know I've got one somewhere in my house. But he would want someone to purchase it. Absolutely. Well, I had a blast tonight, guys. I hope you did too. I'm glad to see some of these mileage on some of these vehicles, man. That's awesome. I used to have an old Volkswagen Jetta that with a V6 engine that was a stick shift. And I think I got 199 on that thing before it died. So I had a car that I got to about 199,000 miles on it before I had to retire it. And I love that V6 engine, man. I love that car. But finally, the air conditioning went, the radiator went, everything went. Everything went. So, yeah. You had a great time, Thomas? Oh, I'm so glad. It was fun. It was fun watching. I had fun with you guys too, because that was some tough content to get through. We went from a laundromat to a bathroom to a Walmart oil change center. And so people wonder why when I did my video about crushing it for coffee or whatever I called it at the time. Yay, Nightbot, reminding everybody that you can buy me a coffee too, just like Tim. That's one thing I've noticed with Tim, and this is the last thing I'll finish with. He's got, here, if you look at, well, I won't show that. Hold on. He used to not put his buy me a coffee like right there in his description box. It was just in his link. And I've noticed, you need a coupon book to get your oil change. Isn't that interesting, Brad? You just brought up a really good point. Thank you for reminding me that Tim used to sell oil change coupon books for years. That was his business, was getting those oil change place hookups to do oil changes. And now he's talking about the fact that the only place you should go to get an oil change is a Walmart. I promise you, Miss Vicky, that he is trying so hard to get like a sponsorship with Walmart. I swear. Because this man used to sell these things. Oh, if anybody knows about an oil change, it should be Tim. I know. Oh, the irony, cocktail sipper. I know the irony of that. It's a full circle, Brad. Like, it is. Wanda says she enjoyed watching this hilarious video, Tim. Thank you. Well, I'm so glad you got entertained. I get entertained by you guys all the time. I get entertained by the parody channels all the time. Yeah, isn't that the truth, Sean? It's just strange. We still need to get to his Social Security mystery. I don't have time to get into that mystery. I'm going to try to stick with what I know, which sometimes I wonder because he's so. It's like, who in the world is like getting excited about this man anyway? Let me make sure I remind everybody who to watch and a little bit about our Sarasota Tim. We call it the boycott, but obviously we're just trying to assess, how many views he'll really get. A lot of people have, like I said, contemplated that he'll just, not put out content anyway, just to kind of offset that. So, if you want to take it fully through to July 4th and really celebrate independence from Tim Day, then I suggest that you do that. But let me just remind you on some fantastic channels you can take a look at during that time. There we go. Lots of fantastic channels there. And then watch those folks instead. So, yeah, just to remind you about a lot of these great creators were here kindly in the chat tonight, like Miss Vicky was here. And I know Olive Oil was here, and Barium Exposure was here, and Darling is here. And Miss Vicky says Walmart doesn't usually reach out to the influencer. It's usually the influencer who has to contact Walmart, or if the influencer has their agent, if they reach out and have one. Yeah, and Doherty Doesn't is like a channel with millions of subscribers. I mean, these are large channels, You're going to have to come in with some analytics for Walmart. and you're going to have to propose to them a really good deal and exchange. This is not, Walmart's a brand that's not going to just put themselves to anybody, I mean, getting affiliate links, I think, is different from actually getting like a sponsorship, correct? I don't have any affiliate links because I don't have anything that I really use. Nobody wants an affiliate link to tofu. Darling says, if Walmart researched him for sponsorship, he'd be screwed. Yeah, I think that they would be very particular. I'm surprised. Like I said, I am surprised that I had a brand reach out to me and gave me a $600 recliner for the exchange of one video. So I only have to do one video. It was a great, I read through the contract. I was like, they're not really asking for a great deal for me to get this really nice recliner. It's really nice. Like a really nice recliner. And so it wasn't like I didn't have to do because I heard Miss Vicky talking about some of the things with sponsorships on her video the other night. And I was like, and about the electric bikes, Miss Vicky, and how they wanted you to give them money and how Tim at some point had gotten free electric bikes. And that just astounds me. But I don't know if he's getting all that now. I really don't know. Prison warden to myself as a self-employed business owner. That probably is the hardest work, is being self-employed. That's probably because you really do have to be your own boss, So kudos to you, Miss Lee. Kudos for that. And Miss Vicky says, yes, Walmart pays some influencers $100K for 3 or 4 videos. Oh, yeah. If they think you're going to get the numbers on your videos, like Doherty doesn't get millions of views because she's, stocking the refrigerator for her 14 kids. It's probably kids that are mainly watching her stuff, though. Like the kids I used to babysit for people in my neighborhood. Tar Heels Forever says Walmart signs a creepy naked dude in the trailer. Yeah, and somebody who's had an EIDL loan potentially taken under fraudulent reasons. Because what economic relief did he need for a business doing door-to-door oil change coupons? How in the hell did he get $58,000? Because I got some EIDL loan help because I had a small business as an RN and I was, a private nurse. I just started my business. I was trying to actually get into helping people who didn't have people to pick them up from surgery or they wanted to be taken care of post-surgery in the home. So, for example, they had an outpatient procedure. They were sent home, say even like plastic surgery or something, and wanted to have a nurse come by and help take care of them. And so I was trying to get into that type of business. And right when I was getting that business started, everything obviously got shut down, and including, outpatient procedures. And so my business, I wasn't able to get it off the ground. And I was able to get hold of one client with complex needs. And I was able to take care of them in the home, and the family paid me privately. But I could never really charge them the rates that I wanted. I couldn't get out and meet people and talk to like plastic surgery centers and say, hey, if you have patients and they want a nurse to come by, check their bandages, dressings, or just make sure once they've come home from their outpatient procedure that they're settled in the house in case, the family isn't, comfortable with doing stuff like that and wants to make sure the person's okay. Then I, that's where I was trying to start my business. And so I was able to get a little bit of EIDL. Like I think they were offering the 10,000 and then they said it was based on the number of employees because I got accepted into that program because I was honest and said, I am just me. I got $1,000, which I sent to the government for my taxes for my business. So I didn't even see the money personally. I just sent it right back to the US government. So I didn't even keep the money. And then I got another, I think, $1,200 that I'm paying on because my business was affected because, and again, I sent that for taxes for what little I was making. So I didn't come out with any, big loans. But, oh, it's needed? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was a good plan. But it was hard to advertise it because it was one of those things where I wanted to get to know, I was going to go around to all the different plastic surgery centers and try to introduce myself to, whoever their surgical coordinator was or whoever, and say, hey, if you have patients, and, because a lot of those are there's a lot of outpatient stuff happening nowadays, more and more. And not everybody is comfortable bringing home somebody off of anesthesia to their house. And so I was like, I was trying to get that started as a business. And so, yeah, but I didn't get anything. I mean, I was honest with my paperwork. So I came away with $2,200, of which I sent it straight to the government. So for him, sorry, I'm losing my voice. For him to be getting $58,000 in EIDL, that's a lot of money. It's like, what the hell were you putting on your paperwork to get that much? What the hell did you put on your paperwork? And for him to even feel comfortable to take that money, I mean, I know the interest is low, but that's more than people I've even taken out in student loans to go through an entire Bachelor of Science of a nursing degree, and including my graduate loans, which I've only just started to have because I didn't have any loans before. I had an employer pay for it. So that's why I continued in grad school. I'm like, shoot, I'm halfway through and half of it's been paid. So I might as well just finish it out. And I realized if by the time I saved up the money to get back to grad school and work and all that, I would be probably in retirement age, probably in my 70s. So I said, let's just bite the bullet and get it done now. So, yeah, I'm just curious. What the heck did he put on that paperwork to get so much money to have a business? Because he said he wasn't working for a while. He was getting unemployment. So if he was getting unemployment, how did he suddenly turn around and get an EIDL loan? I mean, I just wonder what lies. And this is certainly, he calls himself a good Christian. And that to me is not what a good Christian would do, is lie in paperwork and then turn around and tell your followers you're debt free when you're still paying on a $58,000 loan. It just boggles my mind. Best cup of coffee of my life because it's free. I mean, he is. I mean, I just wish they would. I know that they have hired more IRS agents because they worked out that paying the agents to try to recuperate the losses from the number of people who illegally took funds from real businesses that needed that money at the time, been decided that it's better to get these agents. So they're investigating. And I sometimes wonder if that's why Tim stays out of Florida, because he doesn't have a permanent address anymore. Who's his permanent address? Can't be Dwayne's house. That thing's sold. So Miss Tammy doesn't even have that. So where is he saying is his primary residence address? You can't use a P.O. box. So I'm always curious, like, what is his primary residence now? Can't say RV in Utah. The Tundra and the Flagstaff. I don't know if that works for legal paperwork, John. I don't know if that works for legal paperwork. I'm just curious. Why do you feel like Tammy's going to pay off the loan? I hope not. I hope she's smarter than that. Or it's somebody in her family. Teddy's? I didn't think he was talking to Teddy. He's listing his friend's house as his primary residence, but they kicked him out of there. So, I mean, I hope he's asked them for permission, because I don't think Ted wants him anywhere near Jolene. after the way he tried to hit on his wife. Yeah. I mean, it's a guess. It's a good guess, though. Hey, it's time for Tim left Florida and Dwayne's also. There was just Sean. It's just too much. I mean, it's just the coincidence on that, and he was supposed to be going to help somebody that day, and then he disappears, and they're gone for months. Yeah, Bruce is coming to Arizona. Is he? Oh, this is why we stay fascinated with Tim. Because it's like, it's this other stuff that he doesn't talk about that I think is the soap opera that we're more involved in. Like, what happened to Dino? Where's Dino now? Where did Dino go? Where's Jay that was playing golf with him? Where have all these people gone? You know? Where's he listing as his permanent residence? You know? Why do people give him so much money through Buy Me a Coffee? Oh, and he started to put that right at the top of his. What does Tim bring to a relationship? I don't know, because Tammy was even having to give him a back massage. So I don't know. I think it's just because they've known each other for so long. Dino needs to be issued a summons for deposition. Yeah, what happened to that couple up in North Carolina that he was staying with when he was still, when he first did his first travels with Miss Tammy up to North Carolina? Wasn't there some place? Who was that he was staying with up in North Carolina? I remember they were going up into North Carolina. I'm just like, I was like thinking to myself, I'm born in the wrong generation as a Gen Xer. Because I don't think anybody in my generation would be giving out that generously. I have some pretty generous friends, don't get me wrong. But I still, it's their parents that are more generous, actually, than them themselves. You think Dino wanted a little something and Timmy was scared? I don't know. We don't know, Connie. Does Florida send automatic driver license renewals? I've heard about the eye test too. And oh my goodness. I mean, he can't drive around on I'm sure it's the same in most states too. That if these are all good questions. Maybe that's why he doesn't want to go to Florida. Maybe Florida, since it's, has a population with retirees, is more insistent, upon getting this information about who's cited to drive. I don't know. Because I know my grandma managed to hold on to her license for a long time in Virginia, well past the time she should have been driving. In fact, I was the one who pointed out to her she was going to kill somebody because she was so blind. And she was still driving. And she had a history of cataract removers and glaucoma. I mean, she rolled around in those big old glaucoma glasses. So I was shocked that she could still get a driver's license in Virginia for as long as she did. So I don't know. I don't know if there is, Virginia not that strict. Don't listen to me, Tim. Do not come to Virginia and get a driver's license. You don't know why people trust him? I don't know either, Sharon. I have a lot of questions. That's why I would love to do a full documentary on Tim and really get into his weeds. But I just don't think I've got that time to dedicate to a project. I don't even know where I would start. Because I want to know about the stuff. I need somebody, and Tammy not going to tell me enough. Tammy and I are I'm never going to get enough pina coladas into Tammy to get her to probably tell me all the truth. Because that's probably what would have to happen. Tammy and I would have to go on vacation on a cruise together, and I'd have to get her nice and liquored up to probably get the truth about Tim's history. So, and I don't know. I'd have to get, like I said, some liquor because that would be the truth serum that I'd be able to use. Yeah, stay out of Virginia. Thank you. Thank you, Tar Heels Forever. Yeah, stay out of Virginia. We don't want you here. Oh my goodness. You can renew online in Florida for years without an eye exam. Well, maybe that's what he'll end up doing. Don't tell him that, Sharon. I swear he's listening. Tammy in cahoots all the time. Yeah, I know. And there was a time when she have to have like a little job too. She was working in a little store or something. And now she's crying that she lost a Tiffany pendant because supposedly she likes Tiffany jewelry. Tiffany is like somebody I went to class with. I have no idea. Tiffany jewelry, I wish. I hear that jewelry's garbage anyway from real jewelers. Like a lot of that stuff from Tiffany's, it's not the Tiffany's from 1950. It's like influencer Tiffany's now. So some of the jewelry is not that good. I don't, it's just a brand name now. But I don't think it's like, it's good stuff. Miss Vicky says, "Oh, my mom's license is still valid, but she don't drive." He was getting his mail at Teddy and Jolene's when he was at Riverside Casino. He said that Jolene was sending him his mail. They are way too nice, these people. They are far too nice. They must feel sorry for him or something. Because I can promise you, when you're a female, just to let you know, guys, we don't get sometimes this type of like grace from our friends, it's amazing. My friends are like hardcore on my ass. My friends, won't put up with any nonsense. There's no I don't know. Maybe it's just because we're Gen X's and we were the last of the feral children and all of our parents were divorced. I don't know. Or, and half of my friends never even knew their dads. I don't know if it's that the reason why we're just real hard on each other, but I can promise you my generation is nowhere near as nice and as generous to one another as Tim and his friends. It's a whole different world in the Gen X world. We're some mean folks over here. The generation above us, the what's known as the boomer generation, are so much more generous to one another. Like I heard like this wild story about this guy, and I'll finish out with this because I know some people are like, "Oh, you're just talking away." It was about a gentleman who started a business called Pickleball Rocks, and he was this savant, well, one of these guys who played pickleball and been playing pickleball for years and was known internationally in pickleball circles and played around the world, and everybody knew this guy through pickleball. And the story just reminded me, he's probably a more even worse confidence trickster than Tim. So he started to tell people that he was going to start an apparel line, and they wanted to get, if they wanted to invest into this business with this Pickleball Rocks business, then they would, if they gave them a certain amount of money, then they would, obviously be able to get, 12% returns, So if it sounds too good to be true, something fishy going on. And this gentleman was able to get hundreds of thousands of dollars from people over the years, but he always made sure that they kept it like on the down low. Like, you can't tell anybody, can't let anybody know, we don't want anyone else to know about this deal I'm doing. This is just for you. So he was like making sure that, people weren't talking to each other. He was like making it feel like a secret society. And the people all said that he was a good Christian guy. They would have him over there to their house for dinner. He would pray with them, just really nice, affable, personable guy. And he literally swindled these people out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I can't remember which state it was in. But he's not forced to have to return any of this money because it wasn't like a Ponzi scheme. He literally was running a Ponzi scheme, but the state laws don't really cover for it. And this person has absolutely zero remorse in what he did. And he took hundreds of thousands of dollars from people who thought they were his friend. And the biggest thing that they talked about was the fact that he was a good Christian man. And that's the thing that Tim always talks about and uses. psychology, the first mistake in life is to think that people are like yourself. Yes. And it's yes, pickleballs. I bought the website. Pickleball rocks. I bought the website. You did? That thing is like a huge scam. I'll share it real fast if anybody wants to see this story, because it just reminded me of this scandal. And if you really want to get some trash news, go to the Daily Mail. And they actually called this guy, in inverted commas, a psychopath. And I'll just share this real quick just to finish it out tonight. But just because this is a wild story, and if you want to catch the story and you read it, you'll feel like you're reading about Tim. And it's like literally called the pickleball swindler. Oh, the Daily Mail is always going to throw up a bunch of ads. Let me turn that down. So this one, it says he scammed $50 million. Sorry, I said hundreds of thousands. It's millions of dollars that this guy scammed. Oh, Bernie Madoff was wild. But he was like good old-fashioned Ponzi scheme. But this guy, it was out of Indiana, and he launched this company called Pickleball Rocks. And he convinced hundreds of people to invest and hand over millions of dollars to his startup. And finally, somebody spoke out, and there's nothing they can do. And the gentleman was called Rodney Rocket Grubbs. And they had met this guy. Now they're calling him an a-hole and a psychopath. This is Rodney here. $47.5 million in a fraud. Here he is with his pickleball rocks. And here he is. These are some of the people that unfortunately got, taken in by this person. They get invested $100,000. My generation, we don't have money like that. We're all broken, Gen X. So over several years, I'm like, how do these people just like, and all these different poor couples. There's the guy. He just said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. $50 million. And he was considered to be the ultimate ambassador to this thing. And he would say it was, 25,000. Shoot, if I went to 25,000, my friends here, they would laugh at $25. My Gen X friends would laugh at me. 12% interest. And part of the biggest thing was, and this is why it just reminded me of Tim. Here he is, looks like a nice, affable man. Doesn't look like this guy would try to swindle people out of almost $50 million. Here he is with his pickleball rocks. Put his cute little pooch there. We all love a puppy. And then this is what always made me laugh. His family are faithful people, Melody. They would always pray at the dinner table before the meal. So you have a picture of a man who is very honest, a God-fearing family man and businessman. Suppose he was a property investor following his retirement. He would claim to the investors. But the biggest part is that they thought he was this good. And right here, this is the part that, kind of just started to make me think of Tim. Melody remembers him as a very friendly person, and the two couples would go out for dinner whenever they were at an event together. The families became such close friends that the Woodson even stayed at the home of Grubb's son, Josh, when they took part in one of his pickleball clinics. And then having established this bond, Grubbs hit Melody and Greg with his pitch in October 2017. There would be one of 5 or 6 people investing in this pickleball apparel company. And, people were thinking it was a calculated gamble because obviously, pickleball was picking up. And so he really was he is a confidence trickster and a flim-flammer, this one. But he used, obviously this cute little pooch, obviously the pickleball, and he used religion. It's a wild story. So if you want to read about, you should just always, be very cautious with people. It's sad, especially if they're coming with you with an investment or some type of idea like that. That to me was just a wild, wild story. Yep. People always make the mistake that someone who is God-fearing is honest. And they will use this to con people, which is why I say that Tim, who is always talking about being a good Christian, there's no evidence that he is. He just says it. Just standing there and reading a devotional and saying you're a good Christian does not make you a good Christian. Or praying at a meal. I've never even seen Tim, at least this guy was praying at dinner. Tim doesn't even pray at dinner. It sucks this king is not making any 50 million. Looks like a smart. Now we know the story. It looks like a smarmy thug. Didn't know he had multi. Oh yeah, Tim is. Hey, Brianna. Tim is wild. Tim at 16 years old had to leave school because he managed to, in my understanding, impregnate his teacher who was 10 years his senior. And so he ended up having to leave school, I guess. I mean, he could have stayed in school. I mean, you needed to finish your education, Tim. But I guess that he didn't finish high school. So, yeah. You think playing the religion card hurt his channel, John? Probably because, I don't think people, I think he was trying to use it like a ruse, though. And it just, a lot of people necessarily on the internet, the audience for it, on YouTube. Not everybody, But I think he was like trying to use religion to say, hey, look at me. I'm this great guy. I'm a good Christian. Buy me a coffee so I can pay it forward. Because I'll show you Tim's buy me a coffee and we'll finish this out because his buy me a coffee has gotten wild. And he hasn't mentioned it in his, I've looked for him talking about coffee and he is not talking about any coffee lately. Share this tab instead. He's not talked about the coffees lately, which is interesting to me. But, so, for example, here, there's no buy me a coffee in here, but the most recent one, I think he did. Oh, sorry. I was trying to get into here. Let's see if he's popped anything new out. Nope, same old videos. But this one, he actually, for the first time in a while, linked his buy me a coffee here, which I've not seen him drop it in the description box, but he doesn't mention anything about coffee or paying it forward or anything of that nature. Here he goes. All right. I don't know the dates when these happen. And Jamie bought him 5 coffees. And coffee for Miss T, not for you, Baker, LOL. God bless. Oh, my goodness. Got a kick out of that. Not a problem. But sorry. Sorry, guys. Let me share the tab. Sorry. Here we are on the buy me a coffee. Apologies. So this person got 5 coffees. That's $25 sent. Got a kick out of that. No problem. But Miss T drinks Coke and she likes McDonald's biscuits. And I made sure I got them for her this morning. Some things never change. God bless you and thank you for your generosity. And then Chris Google Maps. Oh, he's one of our favorites. I know he's been popping into Miss Vicky's olive oil. Was it olive oil? Was it yours? I think Chris Google's came into recently. I think it was. It was yours. I saw that he commented in your one of your videos recently. And he said here, Chris got him 4 coffees. Hey, Tim. I hope you and Tammy will enjoy the coffee and Coke on me next time you two stop at McDonald's. Have fun and keep crushing it. And, of course, good old Timmy here. Hi, Chris. Tammy and I will definitely enjoy a coffee and a Coke on you. We appreciate your generosity. Crush it. Then just somebody out of nowhere bought him 10 coffees. And then I think Christian Knight, came in, bought 30 coffees. and said, Tim, we absolutely love your YouTube content and the fact you're doing God's work. What God's work have we seen this man do? Can somebody tell me what God's work? Christian, are you losing your faculties? Serious question. God's work and crushing it. May the Lord continue to bless you. Enjoy the coffees and / or use for anything else you may want or need. Love you, brother. What God's work? I'm the one who goes out and does bloody God's work because I actually take care of sick people. I've worked at a Catholic hospital. But everybody would tell me, well, that's your job. You're an RN. You make all this, no. But this guy with this shtick on YouTube, we'll get this guy. Hi, Christian. Wow. How very generous of you. Thank you so much. It will certainly come in handy for everyone. LOL. No, blessings are definitely coming back to you for your generosity. You definitely crushed it. God bless you, brother. What the? I want to use bad language. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, watching and judging you for that, super. I really do appreciate it. Tim was a child bride, one boy's lust for teacher. Oh, that alone says to me, what were you doing? One, the teacher. I'm sorry. That I used to actually be a school teacher. I know, it's hard to think. I never would have thought about touching somebody's child. That is wrong. I don't care which way it goes round. I don't care if it's an older female teacher and a young male student or a male teacher and a young female student. It's just wrong. It's unethical and it's wrong. It's like if I was a nurse and I had a relationship with a patient. That's not allowed. It's unethical. It just shows to me a lack of moral judgment from his and her part. I mean, that to me already says everything I need to know, and not in a good way. But thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that very much. And so that just astounds me. Oh, it wasn't Christina. It was Christian. No. Oh, poor Christina. Somebody else then. Buying things for himself is now God's will. Yeah, have we seen him give anything to people who are unhoused, an unhoused veteran on Veterans Day? Oh, John, thank you. I'm crushing it. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate. I hope I'm crushing it with actually interesting content. That's what I hope. I really appreciate the generosity. I promise you, I really do appreciate it. And Junebug over here very much appreciates it. She got extra treats. But predator behavior from the teacher. Absolutely. Thank you. I'm definitely crushing it. And hopefully we're going to crush it with Tim's boycott for the next 2 days. It's just 2 days. Just 2 days. What did Judy say? Obviously had issues. I think it's why he hates women. Oh, gosh. I mean, I just am curious what was the household he was in. I mean, I know that she wasn't much older at the time, really, but it's just like, it's a matter of ethics. Even if, it's just wrong. It's wrong, I remember when I was a young teacher and the school went from kindergarten right up to 18. There was no way that I would have had any interest in anybody's child. That's somebody's child. Oh, it's not that I'm the moral high ground, but oh yeah, he eschews the homeless. He does. And yet that's why I said this is insane. So he got, 25, 20, that's 40, 45, plus another 50, that's 95, plus 150. Pardon me. $245 I saw him get. It's more than he's made off of those YouTube videos. Isn't that insane? That's why, it's insane to me. It's insane. That to me is insane. Yeah, it's disgusting on the teacher's part. She was 26 with small kids. I know. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. I mean, And he's lucky it happened to that's to me is wild. I have a hard time talking about being a teacher without the proof. I know. It is difficult. That's what we understand, allegedly. I'll say allegedly here because we don't really know. So, yeah, he looks down on people who are unhoused. Absolutely. Thinks he's better than they are. And yet he was renting rooms for years from friends, from what we understand. He wasn't in his own place. When he had his last wife kick him out of the house, probably, allegedly, he didn't have anywhere to go. He was renting rooms from friends and staying in friends' houses. Wasn't he staying in Dwayne's? Pat Ray says the household dynamic would be fascinating. That said, conduct disorder and lack of social boundaries that come with it are not typically preventable in the case of congenital psychopathy. It's interesting. Yeah, you're not trying to diagnose. Yeah. It's it definitely he's got some potential oppositional defiance disorders there going on too. We don't know. We don't know. But anyway, guys, I went through. I've kept you all for too long, and we're just celebrating the boycott. It was $300 for one book. And you can tell my voice is going because the weather's going, and I've obviously talked way too much for far too long. God's trying to take my vocal cords out. But it's just, this to me was insane. And it just, oh my goodness. I tell you, I cannot believe that they all think that he's this good Christian guy. I'm feeling pickleball over here. Thanks, Ray. Oh, Sean, we will definitely do it again. We'll definitely do it again. Like I said, I do have one if you're interested in Foodie Beauty and her, medical misinformation and misusing her Janumet and telling people you can take an extra dose of something when you cannot for that medication. They wouldn't do that. They would look to see why you're not getting control. That's a whole different story. But thank you, guys. Let me just make sure I thank everybody who was so generous to me and Junebug tonight, because it's a shared experience. It's still raining, so I'm hoping I can get her back outside at some point before the end of the night. I want to thank Sharing the Journey for the $2 little chat there. Miss Lee, so generous with the super sticker, and very generous for Junebug protecting me tonight from Timmy. She does a good job. Junebug beezes on occasion. So I really do appreciate that. And Lee came in. Thank you. And Dr. Falcon for studying. I really appreciate that. And watching and judging. who was getting a little not feeling well from watching Tim. But we like the train wreck that he is. And then watching and judging, again, very generous. Wanted to let us know that Tim was a child bride. Only one boy's lust for teacher. We know it's a fantasy for a young schoolboy, but they're called fantasies for a reason. They're not supposed to be lived. Okay? The teacher should have the moral authority to make a better decision on behalf of the child. So even if the young guy who's probably cute, whose hormones are rolling, is hitting on you, you should know that that's, not appropriate because you're the adult in the room. That's just all I'm going to say about that. Because I was a teacher once, and that certainly was something, and I was a young teacher. When I still was teaching, I was 23 when I had my first classroom. So you're young. But that's not right. It's just not right. And then, John, thank you for the super as well for me crushing it this evening. And I hope I did crush it. I hope we're all ready for this wonderful time away from Tim. And I just thank you all. And if you haven't had a chance to hit the likes on the way out. I do certainly appreciate it. And again, these are all the wonderful people that we are going to be supporting in that. You can watch their channels instead, and that's something I recommend. Check out all these channels, look at all these, and a lot of these wonderful people were in the chat tonight. And if you don't see me on my Foodie Beauty, which I need to check my email to see if it's going to be Monday or Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I wish you all a very happy 4th of July weekend. Enjoy your time. Get your chance to do something fun. Get away from social media. Enjoy your night. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all. I had a blast this evening. Thank you guys for that. I was feeling like I would never get into the live stream because I was off the camera tonight, but we appreciates it. It's been fun. See you later. Bye.